In Team Fortress 2, Valve's award-winning class-based first-person shooter video game, each of the 9 choices at your disposal has roles that they fulfill. Scout has the role of capturing objectives and control points quicker than the rest, as well as being a fast boy in general. Medic being the primary healer and keeping his team alive, and the engineer setting up defense to protect important areas on the map, as well as supporting their teams with health, ammo and teleportation to the front line faster than usual. Pyro is no different. While it may seem to many players that all they do is run at the enemy team and maybe get a couple of kills before they're killed, you may be surprised at what they can do, and should do. Let's begin with the basics, some stuff that literally everyone should have a good idea of. Extinguishing teammates. That's right, you pyros out there that don't do it need to do it. Oh, but I used the back burner. Tough bananas, bud, you better be pressing that mouse too on your burning medic. I've seen too many pyros either ignore burning teammates or just straight up look at you and keep walking. You can't do that. I know you're playing pyro and all, but that's a little too sadistic for my liking. But yes, pyros, you need to extinguish your fellow friendlies. Not only do you keep them alive for a little longer, but you also keep yourself alive a little more with that sweet 20 health. So if you're not extinguishing, you've got a little reason not to be doing so. Do it for the sake of your team and your health. You'll also be using mouse 2 for even more, as the next thing you should do as a pyro is airblast enemies and projectiles. I'm still using the back burner. Again, tough bananas. Airblasting is a crucial part of pyro and their gameplay. Being able to push back enemies is absolutely crucial for your team's overall survivability. A perfect example is when an enemy medic and heavy combo comes rushing towards your team. What do? A. Run away and let most of your team die, or B. Push them back to save your team, possibly dying in the process. The obvious choice is the latter one, as while your team may be a pyro down, the enemy's team essentially wasted a decent push, so I'd say doing that is much better. As for projectiles, it's fairly obvious why it's got to reflect them. Stops damage from being inflicted to your team, does more damage to the enemy if aimed properly, and it's just overall a great tool to have at your disposal. What have I missed? Let's see. Oh god, stop, no please. Okay, I get it, okay. So as you can see, plenty of people suggest that Pyro should absolutely spy check, and for good reason. While every class in the game can spy check, Pyro is the most efficient in doing so by far. When an enemy is hit by flames, they're ignited, which is exactly what gives a spy away. Pyro can easily check a group of players far quicker than anyone else can, and it's visually clear for everyone on your team when you do find a spy. Why is spy checking so important? Well, there are countless reasons why, but in short, you protect your team, including key players like medics and engineers, and in the process stop them from destroying your team's beefy defense for the rest of their team to swoop in and take care of the scraps. So yes, Pyros, whenever you're just doing nothing or in a battle with the opposing team, please check around for spies every now and again. It makes a huge difference and in turn can sway the tide of the game in a far more significant way than you realise. Going from denying a Frenchman to denying a Scotsman, the next thing that a Pyro should definitely do is get rid of stickies. Again, every class can get rid of sticky bombs fairly easily, however Pyro is the one that has the more appropriate tools to get rid of them efficiently. Those tools are Detonator and Scorch Shot. Now I know most of you hate the Scorch Shot specifically, but listen to me when I say that it's the best way to remove them as a pyro. Enemy demos can put stickies in a lot of hard to see places, so firing a flare gun or two can save your team from being blown up. Of course, you can also airblast them away and shoot them with your shotgun to destroy them, but the Scorch Shot and Detonator is easily the best way to get rid of and protect your fellow teammates. Two specific classes you want to protect is the Medic and Engineer, which is yet another thing a pyro should do. Once again, any class can do so, but no one is more suited to be the protector of a fellow engineer like the Pyro. The mythical Pyro subclass is the most optimal way of protecting them, as the Home Wrecker and Neon Annihilator are the only other methods of removing a sapper in the entire game without being an engineer yourself. Protecting them from spies and uber pushers like previously mentioned are a great way of keeping your defense up on game modes like King of the Hill or Payload. Protecting medics are fairly simple in comparison, as all that is really needed is to make sure pick classes like Scout or a rocket jumping soldier doesn't come out of nowhere and kill them, as well as the previously mentioned spy checking and you'll be golden. It really can't be underestimated how important a medic is to a team, and a pyro doing their part in keeping them alive is a rewarding task indeed. Going back to engineers for a second, another important role you can fill is being the one helping them push forward too. In game modes like Payload especially, it can be very dangerous for engineers trying to move their gear up alone, what with the defending team attempting to deny any kind of push your team tries. Being by their side can be helpful as they can feel safer when picking up important buildings like sentries and dispensers, as well as setting up teleporters. Spies will be less likely to swoop in and take them out with you by your engineer's side, and helping to keep teleporters up can allow for more effective and more frequent pushes to win the game. Another thing that a pyro should do in literally any game regardless of what you're using is to ambush efficiently. I mean, let's be real, Pyro is a close-range class, and running into a team of soldiers, heavies and snipers won't exactly work out in your favour in most situations. Pyro works best when you're flanking, especially when there's actual weapons like the backburner that encourage it. Yes, you get this one, people who use it. Some secondary weapons can work somewhat well outside the range of your flamethrower, sure, but Pyro excels up close with the majority of the weapons, so really your best choice of taking down enemies is catching them off guard. Not really much else can be said here, just choose your battles and get them when they least expect it for maximum efficiency. And finally, the last thing you should do in general, regardless of what class you play, but can still do so with Pyro, is support your team. Not only does this mean helping your medic and engineers, this also means helping to push payloads, defending the intelligence and capturing control points. If your team is pushing in, go help them. If your team is being pushed back, do your best to stop the enemies from pushing as far as possible. Spy check, airblast, just do anything that will help your team the most at the current situation. Of course, it's fun to run about and cause a ton of mayhem on your own, but when the time comes, try and help your fellow players. Be useful so you can prosper in the end. No one likes a teammate who isn't helping the team in any way. Pyro certainly has a lot of jobs to do, but hey, that's what a class with a certain set of weapons has to expect. No matter who you choose, you have a duty to serve for your team, and even a class such as Pyro has said duty to serve. A big thanks to Twitter for suggesting a lot of the ideas you've seen me talk about here. Without them, I doubt at least half of these would be here. If you'd like to suggest any more down below, then I might go ahead and create a second part if there's enough to do so. So, thanks for watching. This has been your Fem Pyro enthusiast BonOakley signing off. See you guys in the next one.
Here's some of the awesome art you kind people have made. Man, look at the size of those things.
Huh? What? Oh, you're still here. I guess watch another video up there. Now leave me alone. I want some peace and quiet for